Just get out with that and go back. All right, now go ahead.
I seen that, looked like it was bleeding.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the hour's arrived. Oh, you're not home yet, okay, hold on. Yeah, okay. The hour's arrived, the clock's wrong back there, in case y'all got to try to, before the meeting, I tried to wind that thing and set it right, but I messed up this time. But at any rate, Mr. Johnson, we're glad you are chaplain, or you're back in the right chair, so let's lead us in a word of prayer. We may need it.
Hey, I got you.
Father, we do thank you again for allowing us to come into handle the city business. I ask you for knowledge and wisdom that we make the right decision, that we may make the right decision for our people today. I ask you to go with some stand with us in a time like this. Without you, we cannot make it. God, I ask you to bless the soldiers that's on the battlefield, those that are sick and shed and never bereaved. In your name, I do pray. Amen.
Stand and pledge allegiance to the flag of our country.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the agenda is before you. Do I hear any suggestions or amendments or corrections, additions to the agenda? Hearing none, I entertain a motion that we approve the agenda as printed.
So moved.
Motion made and seconded that the agenda be approved as printed. Any further discussion about the agenda? Hearing none, I call for the vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing no opposition, the agenda is set. Okay, item number 1 is the damage that was done to a rental house belonging to Mr. Olin Wooten over on Pat Dixon Road, I believe. We've paid, according to the insurance company, we've already paid a good deal of expense on that house, the problem over there that we were not supposed to pay. He sent us a bill for $9,000 something where he's replaced all the flooring and the material in it. And our insurance company has denied it, and I think that's the only thing that we can do. But at any rate, it's open for discussion, and we'll try to put this to bed.
Okay. Oh. So you for discussion now?
Well,
As I told y'all the last time, I think that these bills, according to our insurance company, say that we should not be handling them. It should come to them first, from them to the legal people and the council stay out of it. Because all those bills and all y'all, we cannot keep paying them. So I think we have to follow the direction of the insurance company and the legal for it.
okay, if that's the case, then you need to make a motion that we deny the bill.
I offer motion that we did
Motion
not.
has been made by Councilman Johnson that we deny the bill
Second.
under the recommendation of the insurance company. It's been seconded by Mr. Ramey. Any further discussion about this bill with Mr. Wooten's rental property? Hearing none, I call for the vote. All in favor of disclaiming the bill and taking the advice of the insurance company, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none opposition, put that to bed and don't put it back on the agenda.
Yes, sir.
Okay, number 2. We've got another $2.3 million federal and state funds to spend on our airport. And every time I am involved, or we are involved with an airport project, you ought to take that money and, what are you doing spending our money on an airport? When's Delta coming in here? And all sorts of smart remarks. This is federal and state money that is not available, otherwise it's in the DTOT Aviation Fund, and we're getting it to get our airport in good shape. And if we didn't get it, somebody else would. It ain't got a thing in the world to do with fixing streets or sewers or adding police cars. It's totally aviation money, and we've gone a long way in fixing our airport out there. And the project, by the way, the notice to proceed has been signed, and they will be out there on the project, I believe.
Monday morning.
Monday morning, Cody. All right,
Yes, sir.
you got anything to add on that project, buddy?
Not right now.
When, we won't have to close the airport yet, will we? We're gonna close it Monday?
Yes, sir.
Are all the planes that's based out there got locations now?
Moving them up this weekend.
Moving them this weekend?
If not, they're here.
Well, they can get out, they get out on the taxiway if they have to, but anyway, we don't tell nobody that. We're on the camera, but don't tell nobody that. The airport will be closed. We've asked them to make it a minimum time, because we do have a lot of our companies flying out of there, don't we, Mary Ann?
All day long.
So it's, we've got a busy airport out there, and, but at any rate, we've got to get this, take advantage of these funds and get that airport. Now with the taxiway and having a completely refurbished runway and taxi apron and everything else, that's gonna be a Jim Dandy airport, or it already is. But, okay, that's all we need to do is make sure you're aware of that,
2 questions.
okay?
What is the work being done and how long will it be closed?
A complete restoration of the old existing runway. Complete restoration. And the, all of the apron, which is the parking lot, all of the parking lot where the planes come in and get back forth to the hangar hall, complete restoration of that. A lot of that is, has gotten old, deteriorated. We had some spots in it that were bad. All that will be redone. So with all of the old existing pavement and whatnot, it'll be repairs, and a lot of times we have to dig up the asphalt and the subsoil and put down a better base, but it's a complete refurbishment of the apron and the main runway. Any further questions?
And this includes the lights and stuff, all that, that's not included.
No, we've only got new lights everywhere, yeah.
And how long is it?
Well, Cody, bring me up to date, what amount of time we give them?
It's a 75-day contract.
75 days. And I guess that's the amount of time that the airport is, will be out of commission.
Peace and quiet?
All right, we don't want to hear anything from the peanut gallery over there. That airport's important to us, whether people believe it is or not. Okay. Marty, you got that resolution that we're supposed to adopt concerning the water well?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's let the attorney read that. Has he got a copy of it?
Yes, sir.
What has happened, we're proceeding with not only fire hydrants and really doing an improvement with our water system in this town. And the next phase of the project has already been bid out, and we've let the contract. And this is a resolution that we need to adopt relative to this. So, Mr. Attorney, if you will handle that for us.
Whereas bids were received by the city of Hazlehurst April 1st, 2021 for the Buddy Span Park Well number 5, close parenthesis 105, close parenthesis project. And whereas the low responsive bidder is Southern Civil LLC of Townsend, Georgia, with a bid in the amount of $876,674, including bid alternative A-2. And whereas the low bidder Southern Civil LLC appears to have the necessary financial and technical ability to complete the project, be it therefore now resolved, the city of Hazlehurst hereby makes tentative contract award of the construction contract to the low bidder Southern Civil LLC of Townsend, Georgia, in the amount of $876,674, including bid alternate A2. Award of this contract is subject to the selected bidder meeting the requirements regarding DBE E/MVE/WBE compliance with the Georgia Environmental Finance Authority.
And it's up there that this resolution is passed by a vote of whatever we do at a regular meeting on this date. So entertain a motion that we approve this resolution.
So moved.
Motion is made that we approve the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Johnson. Any further discussion about it?
You know, all of, this is the, added on to the well that's out there already?
This will be, see, we've got the old Gill Street well that
Right.
we put back in service. We've got the Odom Street well that's downtown for many years.
Right.
We got the one out on the back of the highway, and this is the fourth well that we're putting in to handle the fire hydrant situation, all the new fire hydrants we're putting in, and the fire protection we're getting, and with the 12-inch line that we distributed out to help our industry. This is getting it all up to par. That we agreed on all this stuff months ago, and this is the next step. And they've already bid it, and it's ready to go, and you are to approve this resolution, I hope. Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I call for the vote. All in favor say aye. Okay, is there any opposition? The motion carried. So, Ms. Clerk, if you would see to it with a vote of 5, vote, unanimous vote, and have we sign and get that back and tell that. All right. Okay, Chief, you and Mr. Mock are on stage.
But before he starts, I just wanted to say that we have modified our proposal somewhat.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me come tonight, and thank you for taking this opportunity to hear me. As we had, I know Councilman Johnson was not able to make it Monday night, but the rest of you have heard what we had to say. I'd just like to say that right now our department is, we're making it, but I got people who are tired. They are worn out. Their family lives are suffering. And we're not the only industry that is facing what we're facing now. Never mind, we don't say that. I just want to tell you that I just want to come to you. I'm not going to go over, because of the sensitive nature, I'm not going to say any dollar amounts in an open meeting. That's for private stuff. I will, each one of you, Mr. Johnson, you didn't get a, okay, I got one right here for you, sir. Let me just, everybody else got one. I just want to give you, I can, this, sir, is current.
Okay.
This is current. This is proposed.
Okay.
Okay? I just want to ask that, I'm asking and beseeching you to approve the proposed salary increases as they are presented. And also, on the vehicles, I am, what we talked about the other night about that, the Rescue Plan Act, I don't want to, I'm gonna, because we don't know how, the guidelines haven't been set down and we don't know exactly how we can use that money. I'm gonna ask the city to, and I've already done a little research and called someone. I'm gonna ask the city to enter into a loan of $200,000 for 4 years at 4.25% with a yearly payment.
From your budget.
That yearly payment will be deducted, I will deduct it from my budget.
Okay, they give you a yearly payment?
Well, it would be whatever 200,000
Advertise it
Okay.
times
up.
4.25. So I think you're looking at 50, $55,000 to $58,000 maybe,
Yeah.
somewhere in that range. Between 50 and 60, let's say it that way. And that's what I'm asking you to do, and that's,
You have this plan in your budget now that you've got it there where you can, make these amortization payments like that. Is it included in the budget?
no, sir. I would be reworking my budget when I turn to, look, go ahead, sir.
We talked to Brandon, Phil Brandon Foley, and he has agreed that he would invoice us, and it would be invoiced for June 30th.
Yes, I'm sorry, I meant to say that. I have been back in touch with the Ford place in Perry, who is a dealer for police vehicles.
We explained our situation to him, and
He has agreed that we could get those immediately. He has them on the lot. We could take possession of those immediately, and the bill for those would not be due until June the 30th of this year. That's when we
we're
have to.
trying every which way we can.
That's when we would have to initialize the loan.
The person will be, it will be June of this year?
No, sir. No, sir. That's when the dealership would have to be paid. We would have to secure a loan from the bank, and we would have to let that money cover the check that we're gonna write on June the 30th.
Okay,
And then we would owe the bank a yearly payment
gotcha.
in June, basically, of every year, for 4 years.
What, I'm a little lost here, I'm asking this, have we pre-opted to talk to any of the banks to see if this would be a feasible operation?
Yes, sir, I have.
Okay.
I have.
Okay.
And you wanna, I talked to Renaissance Bank, that's who I talked to, that's who's
That's
got our
who
general
deals
fund, and
with
they've
it.
done stuff in the past, and I did reach out to Ms. Brown.
While I'm running my mouth, I've got to ask this question again too, I'm not selling automobiles at any particular place, but I think I was told by someone that the only place that outfitted the police cars was the Perry Ford. But our last 4 that we purchased, 3 Chryslers and 1 SUV, was purchased from Woody's, and that dropped me from understanding.
I tried to deal with Woody on the vehicles. I tried to get a quote from Woody's. Woody's is not in the police vehicle deal, they're not a police dealership, so he told me it would be better to go the route of a police dealership. But I did try that, yes, sir.
I just knew that we
Yes,
had some, and I was confused.
It's hard for him to get them because a police dealership already has them.
Right.
So he would have to call Perry and get it from Perry. Is basically how that works. Because he is not a,
He's not authorized.
right, a law enforcement vehicle. Because they're built different. They've got different suspensions, different cooling systems. You have to be a specialized dealer.
Any other questions?
How many vehicles?
Or
Okay, let me put out my 2 cents worth in it. I believe that the police department and a lot of our master mechanics and technicians and pipe workers and all, I think we need to, this salary is not an unreasonable salary at all. And that the officers and others, the fellow said that you live right there, and others who are out digging down several feet to the ground with sewer pipes, water pipes, and put them all together. I think all of you need and deserve more money. And I'm gonna be working, I have been, the entire time that I've been here, and I'm gonna be working diligently to try to arrive at what you're asking for, without a doubt. I thought Mr. Mock made a good presentation last week, and I complimented him, and I still do. I think the presentation was good, it was made in good order. Right now, you're fixing to have, if you haven't had, if you got your new budget forms on your desk yet?
That's right.
Okay, well, they're on mine, and they will be
Yes.
in just a day or two.
Yes,
And we're fixing to start working on budgets, and you're fixing to have them on your desk to go to work with it, and here we're, April is about gone, and then during the month of May, it's gotta be, the budget year's gotta be finished and then approved before the end of June. So we're going to be in the process of trying to arrive at your wishes at all we can, but not only with the police department, but with the water department, fire department, street department, and others, the recycling. We got airports and golf courses and all sorts of things that we have to look at. So I'm going to suggest to the council and recommend to you, Chief, that you let us take in the budgeting process, get together with all department heads and begin to try to do all we can to budget and approve of what you're asking for your personnel, not only for your department, but some other departments as well. We are always taking into consideration the risk that your officers take when they put on that badge and put that gun on. Of course, that will be included in it as we make these recommendations. With that being done, then some of them here don't like it, including me. Then you see what your folks need and what you need to do for them, what you're asking for. And then you got to figure out where the money is coming from. And sometimes you got to raise taxes, if you got to increase the water bill, or you got to do some things you don't like to do, you too. And so then when we get all these figures together right here in the next month or so, we got to find the revenue to meet these requests. And that's what the budget process is all about. So also, on the 29th day of this month, which is the next to the last day of the month, I hope, how many of you are registered for the American Rescue Plan seminar? Okay, you all need to be. On that day, there's a webinar where the Georgia Municipal Association and the ACCG, which is our county folks aren't here this week, they normally are. They're combining and getting together and letting all of us elected officers and administrators and you and others know how this money, what is allowed in getting this sum of money that they say that we're going to get. So, and on the 29th, then we should be going step by step and seeing how many cars we could buy and what do we do. Now, these are non-recurring expenses. Now, salaries has got nothing to do with this act at all. This is non-recurring expenses. But anyway, we'll be in the middle of that, find out how we can get the funds, what can we do with it. We'll be sitting down looking at the budget, seeing the salaries that y'all are expecting to be paid, and getting the figures together. And they say, okay, we've got this want list, now how are we going to fit it? And so I think this will be done in the next few days. And I'm going to ask the council, first of all, and if you all read this thing, I don't. I'm going to ask the council to they can approach this in a very business-like manner. We write a budget time, and let's do that and see if we can't meet these needs that these people are requesting.
All right, let me say something else, if I may. So we're short-staffed, and we need to start recruiting quality, trained officers who will come in and be a true peace officer in our community. With that being said, nobody wants to be a police officer anymore, part of because of the relationship between law enforcement and the community. Of course, not here in Hazelhurst, but countrywide. We don't have an attractive means of bringing qualified people in. With that being said, what do we do? How do we start recruiting when we have needs that need to be met expeditiously? Because I don't think y'all understand the hardship that are on these officers' shoulders.
I think we understand more than you think. And we're not saying we aren't sympathetic with this at all. The thing that we've got one officer sitting back here listening. If an officer comes in to you, John, or the chief, or Mr. Mock, and look at the job, or you can go to an officer that you think might be interested in moving to Hazelhurst or working in this environment, might say, look, I'll make this move, I've got law enforcement experience, and I would like to move or be located in Hazelhurst, Georgia, but I've got to have X amount of dollars. Or he tells you that X amount of dollars is such, and that man right there is making less money than he's wanting to make, and this man's been here working with the city for a long time. We've got to consider that in dealing with, okay, is the market demand requiring this, then we got to get our butts busy up here as good managers and begin to see what the pay scale should be, and then we got to find revenue to meet that demand. But what we can tell you, I think, of course, now these folks can vote me down in a New York minute, but what I think we ought to tell you is that in the meantime, and I think that officer knowing how bad we need police officers, of course, it's none of his business what we pay somebody else. That should be private information. But yeah, I can tell him that when people come in and doing something, and he's been on the law enforcement office, and I pay somebody, or we agree to pay somebody more money, that don't suit me at all. It don't suit him, and it don't suit me.
Excuse me, Mayor, respectfully, this proposal that I've given you has already been researched. It's already been researched. Nobody that's been here is gonna be making less than somebody coming right off the street.
Oh, yeah, I understand, and we're gonna try to see that, we'll let our personnel policy be such that that's, yeah.
But when you say we're going to research this and what's your timeline? Or what is?
Budget, I'm talking about getting the budget together. It's got, the timeline is here. We're working on it. It's gonna be on your desk right now.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
Two questions. This is a working thought for us, and it's good. That's not bad. The next thing, over the years, let's see how I can say this now. Over the years, the car deal, working with the car, sometime when I first got on, there was something that the city would replace a car every 2 years, no matter what. What happened with that? I mean, it don't affect, I can't even talk, but it don't bother you, but it was a plan in place where we supposed to have been replacing cars every so often, but we got tied up with the budget some time back, and they elected not to do the cars because we didn't have many miles on them. Is that still in process?
The cost of the vehicle and the amount of SPOS that we get, every term or whatever, the period of time the SPOS is for, will not let you do that. It's not enough to replace every 2 years.
Okay. Well, didn't we agree to go into a plan where you all got into this incentive to encourage people to come, like to give them so much money to come?
That's what this is, and see, we found out today that Hardee's is offering, Hardee's restaurant is offering a $600
But
sign bonus.
I thought we went in,
No, we didn't agree to that.
Oh, we didn't agree
No,
to
we
that?
did not.
No, we didn't, y'all didn't vote that.
No.
Okay.
That's what we're discussing now.
And another thing I think you talked about with the cars, Mr. Johnson, is that I think that was an in-house, a Hazelhurst council and the police chief plan, that in order to keep from having to, see, we just bought a car a month ago, We're buying a car now, right? We bought a car a month ago. Am I right, chief?
Yes. No, yeah, it's just one car though.
One
Yeah,
car.
it's
We
just one car.
bought one car a month
Right,
ago.
right.
We're in the process of buying another car with a grant now.
No, that's that car.
What about the car that we've already paid for and it's on the road?
That's the grant, that's the grant. That's the
Okay.
grant that we're gonna
And now
sign
we're
next
looking,
week.
well, here's what I'm trying to describe. And now we're looking at Fort one time, what they did at one time was say, okay, instead of all this hitting us at one time, let's every year buy two every year. And then that way we keep rotating and keep, modern cars. I think that was the plan, but that hadn't been followed for some reason. I don't understand that.
What about this guy